Hey, Internet. Eric here. I said it many times, either here or on other podcasts or live streams, that going to jump into the Rocky franchise. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Today's the day, so you always got to start at the beginning. Today I'm talking the first one, Rocky, from 1975, I believe. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. I had a blast revisiting the Rambo franchise, so I figured let's start with the one that started Stallone's career off, on the right track with Rocky. Basic plot of this is we're following Rocky Balboa, played by Sylvester Stallone, and Rocky is basically like the muscle for a loan shark. You know what I mean? Uh, you don't pay up, he breaks your thumbs, type of thing. And Rocky's the type of guy where like there's a scene where he's got a heart of gold. You know, as a cliche, he won't break the thumbs, but he'll get his point across, type of thing. Which means he has to go back to Mr. Gazzo and just tell him, hey, I'll trust the guy, he's good for it. Anyways, when he's not working for Gazzo breaking thumbs or not breaking thumbs, he is getting the shit beat out of him in a boxing ring as an amateur boxer for like $40 a night. Well, the world heavyweight champ Apollo Creed, played by Carl Weathers, he has a world championship match scheduled, but his challenger like has a broken hand or something. And Apollo thinks, because Apollo's all about the look, you know what I mean? He thinks it'll be cool that if he lowered himself or gave this up and comer a shot at the title, like an easy fight, it would look good for him as a PR move. Chooses Rocky Balboa, so we're following Rocky as he trains to fight Apollo and some other things. Great film, written by Stallone, not directed by him. Not sure who directed it, because I don't write this stuff out. Stallone is great in this movie. I love how, again, I mentioned it. Rocky's like the thug with the heart of gold. He won't break thumbs if he doesn't have to, type of thing. And he is just such a likable guy. He really is. He is one of the guys that he's loyal, he's friendly, he's fun. He works for a bad guy, a criminal, for lack of a better term, because there's one time when he goes to the pet shop, takes some turtle food, and she yells at Rocky, "Hey, you got to pay for that." And he says, "Come on, Gloria, crime don't pay," and he walks off with it. But what I like about him, that even though he's collecting money and doing stuff like that, he's also looking out for others. Like little Marie, when she's this underage girl hanging with some thugs on the street corner, and he tries to set her straight, and she just calls, says, "Screw you, creepo," and stuff like that. But Stallone is really really good making this character so lovable, and you respect the guy, you want him to win. And it's a great little, not necessarily a hero's journey like Conan or Lord of the Rings or something like that, but it's a great little hero's journey from down in the dumps to the big leagues. You know what I mean? And I love that. Talia Shire as Adrian is so good. She's got perfect chemistry with Rocky, and she is Rocky's love interest, or Rocky's wannabe love interest. He's always pursuing her, trying to get her on that first date, and she likes him because she's the only one that laughs at his stupid fucking jokes. She gives him that look, but she's so meek and intimidated and self-conscious that she won't do it. You know what I mean? He basically has to beg her. Um, she still won't do it, and she finally goes out with him because he is invited over on Thanksgiving to their home by Paulie, her brother. And Paulie, I'll get to Paulie, but he's such a fucking asshole. Thinks he has good intentions, but he's such a fucking asshole that Adrian goes out with Rocky to get out of the house. Um, great chemistry, and you know what? It's cool seeing her journey as well as this meek, quiet, self conscious. You wouldn't notice her. If you looked right at her character, to this strong, lovable, respectful female, and again, this wonderful love interest for Rocky. Burt Young as Paulie. Ooh, like I said, he's if you've watched the Rocky movies and Paulie from like the sequels, he's the comic relief. He's the drunk, he's the comic relief, he's an asshole, but he's not like anything in those compared to this, because he is a guy that you just want to fucking strangle. You know what I mean? He thinks his intentions are good, but he's also so self-centered. He thinks he's looking out for Adrian's best interest, but he's not. Because every time he's always bugging Rocky, he wants to get out of the meatpacking plant. He's like, put in a good word for Gazzo, with Gazzo for me, so he can be the thug type of thing. But Burt Young is so good being a jerk off, and he's great at treating Adrian like garbage. Um, and one of my favorite scenes is finally when I don't know what sets him off, um, but he goes off on Adrian, and he's going off on Rocky because he thinks they're having fun, and he's a miserable old bastard, and he doesn't want anyone happy if he's not happy. And it's a great scene where he's browbeating Adrian, and she finally sticks up for herself, and like he even says like you've been, I don't know if the technical term he said, but like you've been deflowered, you're no longer a virgin, stuff like that, and she gets in his face, and then Rocky gets in his face, and it's a great scene, and then it just shows how Paulie's own words, he's scared, but I love at the end of the film, because Paulie is like a longtime friend of Rocky, and Rocky keeps him along because we all have that friend who's kind of a dick, but we keep him around because we've been friends for so long. We've been through so many tough times together. And Burt Young is great, but by the end of it, I love how after the boxing match is all said and done, um, chaos is happening. The crowd, not the crowd, but the press is in the ring, and he's yelling. I love how he calls him Rocco. This is where he first calls him Rocco. He's trying to get in, and he's all worried about the cops messing up his his jacket. Adrian wants to get in the ring. She yells for him. He looks at her. He raises the ring ropes for her so she can get into the man she loves. I love that at the end. Um, Two other characters that are really worth mentioning. Apollo Creed, played by Carl Weathers, not in it as much. Like I honestly, this first movie here, I've seen the sequels. God knows how many times. This one here, this is probably only my second or third time watching it. I grew up on the sequels, and it's that's what I meant about Paulie. Like if you grew up on him on the sequels and you realize how much of a fucking prick he's in this one, Apollo Creed, ooh, he is so cocky in this one. He's kind of downright unlikable, in my opinion, and because again, he's all about the press. He's all about the look. He's all about people talking about him. He thinks he's doing Rocky a favor, this and that. Um, he's not taking any of it seriously. Um, and Carl Weathers is so good at this. He's so good at this, and one of my favorite scenes. It's during the boxing match, and Rocky just knocked. He's already knocked Apollo down. First person to ever knock Apollo down. And like I said, Apollo's so cocky. He comes out like dressed as George Washington. Rocky comes out with no music, and his ring crew, and Apollo comes out dressed like George Washington. He's throwing like quarters or pennies or whatever to the crowd. Looking like, again, showing Rocky like I can't sweat you. It's not gonna happen type of thing. And then Rocky finally knocks him off his feet. First time anyone's ever done that. And then he knocks Rocky down. Rocky gets up, standing 8 count, standing 9 count, whatever it is, and then he what was it? He looks at Apollo. He's like, "Come on, let's go." And then Apollo looks. He like Carl Weather. He gives us like, "You fucking son of a bitch." He's like, "I had you. You stay down," type of thing. Like he realized, oh, I may have fucked up here, and that's what I like about Apollo Creed or Carl Weathers is he's such a cocky asshole, and then he realizes he might be in over his head. Last performance, Burgess Meredith as Mickey, owner of the gym where Rocky trains, and they even though they're button heads. I like that in the very beginning of this. He gives Rocky's locker away because he thinks Rocky's a bum. He's showing no promise because he's fighting like fucking Spider Rico in a church, making no money. There's no promise, and I didn't realize this. I like how Mickey doesn't give a shit until Rocky's got that title shot. And Mickey comes over. Oh, hey kid, I think you need a manager type of thing. And Rocky, he's not falling for his bullshit. One of my favorite scenes, he doesn't buy anything. He doesn't. He's where were you? When you gave my locker away and shit like that. And Mickey leaves defeated. And as he's walking down the steps, Rocky is like, going off on him as he's going down the stairs. Ain't this a great place? No, this apartment I live in, it fucking stinks. He doesn't swear, but it stinks. That's all. He hates living where he's living. And if you didn't know where this movie was going, especially with the sequels, he could have just told Mickey to fuck off. But there's this great scene, this great shot of Mickey. He's away from the apartment building. He's walking. Everybody fucking walks. It's Philly. He's walking away. Rocky runs down to him, and they have a conversation. You don't know what's being said, but they've agreed to work together, and it's so good. We all know about and Burgess Meredith. He's great as this grumpy old man. I love him. We have the montage, the training montage. Everyone knows it. So good. What else? The score is so good. We have Gonna Fly now. What I love about this is everyone knows Rocky running up the steps. I love how during that training montage, he ends the training montage, jumps up the steps, puts his arms in the air, turns around, he does that, freeze frame that we've seen. First time we see him run up those stairs, he's barely able to do it. He's out of breath. So it shows the gradual growth and determination of him, because in this time he's on such a high, making it to the top of those stairs. You're happy for him. And there's little pieces in this movie that make me love the Rocky character even more. I love, just the way he loves Buckus the dog, and he's always there visiting Butkus, at the pet store. The scene where he's trying to convince the guy at the skating rink to, hey, can we have 10 minutes so Adrian can skate, type of thing. I love that. I love how he's always sticking up for Adrian, because Gazzo's driver, I'm not going to say the R word, but I think she's not so bright. Take her to the zoo. Those type of people like the zoo. And he's always sticking up for Adrian. I love that. And I love his working relationship with Gazzo. Gazzo, Joe Spinell, who I only really know from these movies and the original Maniac. I've never seen it. He respects Rocky too. He may be like a loan shark and a scumbag, but he respects Rocky for the type of person he is, the time he's put in with him. So good. The score is so good. Gonna Fly now. I love the training montage scene. It's done so well. It's so moving. The trumpets and the strings. Everyone knows the Rocky music, but it's perfect for the drama too. Just the piano, Rocky walking down the street, the piano music. Oh, so good. Everyone knows the final. I have one complaint about this movie. I wish the boxing match between Apollo and Rocky was a little longer. To me, it seemed quite brief, even though this is mainly Rocky's journey to the fight, because he just wants to go the distance. He doesn't give a shit about winning. He would love to win, but he doesn't care if he does. It's more about that journey and him training, him falling in love with Adrian and all that stuff, dealing with Paulie. I do wish the fight was a little longer, but everyone knows that I get choked up every time I see that, Adrian's finally out of her shell. Takes off the glasses. Talia Shire is a gorgeous woman when she's able to show herself, like when that confidence. And by the end of this movie, when Rocky makes her stay in the locker room so she doesn't get to see him beat up, type of thing, she's dressed like that. She wears that. She's beautiful. And then when Rocky's getting the shit kicked out of him, and Apollo too. Apollo's all fucked up too by the end of this. She comes out and it's a fantastic shot. The music, the way the crowd is going, the way they edit in the commentating, and she's just standing there, right in the hallway. Her arms down like this, and it's a fantastic shot of Talia Shire's face, and she's looking, and she closes her eyes like she doesn't want to watch. She knows Rocky's in pain, and then she opens her eyes again. Fight's over. She runs to the crowd. And I didn't know if it was an accident or not. She runs through the crowd. Someone knocks off her head. You see Talia look back, but she still runs to the ring. Like I said, Paulie is yelling, "Rocco, hey, that's my friend." She yells, "Paulie." He lets her slip in, and right when she goes up, she goes, "Rocky." First thing, you gotta listen. The first thing you hear Rocky says is, "Where's your hat?" You know what I mean? Little stuff like that is fun. Then they do the whole "I love you, I love you." I get choked up because they really do love each other. You've seen him find some worth, you know what I mean, some self worth, and because he's not a bum, because everyone calls him a bum, he's not a bum. He finds someone who loves him and respects him for who he is, and you see this beautiful woman come out of her shell, stand up to her brother who treats her like garbage, and become this whole nother person. And they're hugging each other. The love you feel is genuine. Great performances. And, movie came out in 1975. Rocky doesn't win, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. The reporters are trying to talk to him. Hey, you did good. You want a rematch? He says there ain't going to be no rematch. And all he is doing is yelling to his woman, Adrian, I need you type of thing. And it's wonderful. That's his first focus. Yeah, little things about the Rocky character. Like, I loved his main concern wasn't getting beat up. His main concern the night before when he was in the arena was that the poster was wrong. They got the colors on his tights, backwards. That type of stuff shows how much there's more to Rocky than just being a big dumb thug. And Stallone knocked it out of the park. He wrote a fantastic, go down the rabbit hole. Stallone wrote a fantastic screenplay for Rocky. Wouldn't sell it unless he played Rocky, and that dude knocked it out of the park. Highly, because there are people who've never seen it. My wife's never seen Rocky movies. She's never been interested, but there are people out there that have never seen Rocky. And if you never have, sit down and watch it, and just watch these characters evolve. Except for Paulie, he stays an asshole. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think of this film. Favorite scenes, least favorite scenes, anything to get a comment and help the algorithm, all that jazz. Thank you to everybody that has watched and commented on, participated in my interview with Derek J. Hoover from Yesterday's that happened last Saturday. It was a lot of fun. Check out his podcast, the Yesterday's podcast. Yesterdays, as in D-A-Z-E. I've got some other stuff planned. Going down the Rocky franchise. Got some things planned for December. But my main focus is going to be Rocky. Rocky 2 coming up soon. Can't wait. All right. I've mumbled enough. Cheers.